Great. Now, ever since I walked out of this movie, I can't stop randomly saying to myself, I wanna put on my boogie suit. I can't stop randomly just saying that. So thanks a lot, M. Night Shyamalan. That's going to be stuck in my head for the next week or so until I see Magic Mike, and then I'll be coming out of that theater just saying, oh, let's dance. Oh, let's dance. Just multiple times. But nonetheless, guys, this is Knock at the Cabin. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for Knock at the Cabin, starring Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, Ben Aldridge, Rupert Grint, and was directed by none other than M. Night Shyamalan. And our story follows four strangers who go out into this cabin in the woods where this family is on vacation, and they give them a choice. You can either sacrifice, or let's say this, you can either willingly sacrifice one member from your family in order to prevent the apocalypse from happening, or if you choose not to eliminate somebody from your family, the apocalypse will happen and they will be the only three people remaining on this earth. And that is essentially that's the choice that they're given, and they have no idea whether or not they're telling the truth or not. So that is the premise of this film, and I'm just going to leave it at that because, of course, I'm sure by, if you've seen the trailer, you're curious to see how this plays out. So I don't want to give you guys too many details, but I am going to go over what I did like, and I'm going to give up what I liked and what I didn't like about the film. So let's get into it right now. Alright, so the first thing that completely stands out to me about this film from the very jump is the acting. The acting performances in this film are absolutely spectacular. The entire cast does a great job, but really, I'm talking about Dave Bautista and Ben Aldridge. I'll talk about Dave Bautista first. Look, any debate that we've been having about who's the best wrestler turned actor has been put, if it wasn't, put to rest before by Dave Bautista, oh, it's been put to rest now. Dave Bautista in this movie is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this dude becomes these characters. That's the thing. Watching this story here, it doesn't matter if he has all the tattoos or his Batista-esque charms or his Batista face. It doesn't necessarily matter what we see on screen. We never see Dave Bautista as Batista. We see him become these characters, man. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, we always see him as The Rock. We can never actually see him as the character itself. It's always The Rock playing this part, The Rock in this. It's like he's never, it's like, Robert, when we think of Hugh Jackman, he is Wolverine. When we think of Robert Downey Jr., he is Iron Man. When we think of Dave Bautista, he is these characters. When we think of John Cena, he is Peacemaker. He is the dad from Clockworkers. I mean, they become these characters. We always see The Rock just being The Rock in movies. And while I don't necessarily have a problem with that, I understand why it's such a big global debate of who the best actor could be. But, Dave Bautista in this movie put all that to rest. This dude's performance is absolutely bonkers, man. I mean, this dude gives so much heart, so much passion to this role. It's ridiculous. First of all, from the very jump, what I love about this movie is they are not on any games. M. Night Shyamalan understands that old was shit and that he needs to make up for that, and he brings all the intensity to this film from the very jump, and I loved it, man. Ben Aldridge as well, I thought gave a very good performance. He plays Andrew, one of the dads in the film. Look, this dude, first of all, I love the fact that for a home invasion, I'm going to put him in quotes, for a home invasion or in these type of scenarios, one of the dads were at least ready or badass enough to be able to handle themselves and protect the family and when he needed to. Ben Aldridge is a badass in this film. I absolutely loved his performance. I also loved the little girl Wen. Rupert Grint, who has worked with M. Night Shyamalan before in the Servant series on Apple TV, which he does a great job in that show. I stopped watching because M. Night Shyamalan has this tendency to have me up to a certain point with his premises, then he just completely loses me, which I'll get to that later because I expected the same to happen here, but it never did, surprisingly. But look, nonetheless, Ben Aldridge gave a phenomenal performance. Rupert Grint, the little girl who plays Wen, I don't know the actress's name, I apologize about that, but everybody gives very passionate, heartfelt performances here because, one, they have to play on to the fact to make you believe that this is happening, and then, well, it's the four strangers' jobs to let you know that the apocalypse is actually happening and they need to take this serious, and it's the family's job to make the audience believe, no, this thing is not real. They're just making this up. They're crazy of some sort. And it's a complete mind fuck the entire time. And I absolutely loved it. I loved how intense the first I'm going to say the first, like 30 to 35 minutes of this film are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just the acting, the creepiness, the intensity, literally from the opening credits. The opening credits have a very creepy score about them, and they just play no games. They play on top of the creepy score and get right to the action. I love that M. Night Shyamalan wasted no time getting us right, or getting us introduced to this scenario and making us figure out what's going to happen. And then he does his Shyamalaming, you know, throughout the film and replays other events, blah, 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 to let it all lead up to whatever's going to happen in the end. Now, with that being said, like I said, so the performances I absolutely loved. The intensity of the film, first 30 to 35 minutes, I absolutely loved. Now, in terms of the rest of the film, and maybe this is just me, and I hope I can explain this in a way to make you guys understand. Now, when I explain what I didn't like about the film, I'm not necessarily holding this against the film at all, because I still thoroughly enjoyed the film. My only thing was, M. Night Shyamalan, as we all know, has this tendency to, like I said, he has you up into a certain point with his premise, and, you know, you're having a good time and you're trying to see where this all goes, and then he throws in some sort of out of left field twist that kind of you'll either accept, you'll either like, or you'll either really, really hate. And I kind of got used to that shtick, and I was waiting on the twist the entire time. It never happened in this film. Like, there's no Shyamalan twist. There's no out of left field thing that's going to happen to make you go, oh man, well now he just ruined it. I was literally sitting there waiting on that moment to happen, and for whatever reason, I was actually thoroughly disappointed it never did happen, man. I was expecting, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I thought what would make or break the film is when they started talking about whatever's in the light, which of course I'm not going to get into detail of what that is in the film, but when they start talking about I saw something in the light, I thought that's where the movie was going to lose me. But the movie actually just plays out in its premise. This is the first time well, for me, this is the first time I've noticed M. Night Shyamalan ever just let the premise play out. He's not trying to do anything, or he's not trying to do anything to ruin what's going on here. He feels like the premise is already good enough to just let it play out. And I feel like the remaining of the movie suffers from that, because I'm literally sitting there waiting on, you know, something out of left field to happen. I'm waiting on a big twist. I'm waiting on something to really throw us off and, you know, really get to the gist of why this is all happening. But I mean, we get to the point of why this is all happening, and it's really just a play on of, is this real, is it not? And I don't know, man. Just for me, I felt kind of disappointed that Shyamalan didn't even try. I felt like we really, really bullied him with old. Like, I'm literally sitting there the entire time in the movie. Like, I'm waiting to, like, well, essentially, I'll put it this way. I'm holding my excitement for this film down. Like, I'm pushing it very down in my stomach, because I'm waiting on something to just completely happen to just throw me off. And the fact that it never did, I felt like I was waiting for, it's like I was anticipating something that just never came, and I kind of just ended up disappointing myself in that sense. But I'm still going to blame this on Shyamalan, because this is what he does. He normally has a twist to throw people off. And, well, it's not used to throw people off, but he's kind of just built a career on making just mind-bending twists. And now that we expect those in all these films, and now that it didn't happen, I don't know how to feel. I personally, like I said, I'm not holding this against the film at all. I still very thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just during my experience in this theater, I'm literally holding back my excitement, because I know something's coming to just gonna throw me off, and it never came. And I was shocked. I was shocked, and I just didn't know how to feel. But I mean, personally, I felt like he just didn't try. Like, he really played it safe, and he was scared to do anything, which is different for him. I'm not going to, you know, bash him for that, but I mean, like, once you build a career on mind-bending twists, buddy, I'm expecting those in a lot of these films. But nonetheless, I still thoroughly enjoyed the film. Overall, guys, look, the acting is intense. It's great performances. It's just a great premise that he's building on and let it play out. Like I said, personally, the first 30 to 35 minutes of this film is absolutely phenomenal. It's just nonstop, immense tension, and you just don't know what the heck's going on. Once you kind of catch on to the gist of how this is going to not necessarily play out, because it's not easy to predict, but once you kind of see what the gist of this thing is, and we kind of just are watching this thing play out, I feel like the movie kind of dies down a bit. That's the only thing. I was waiting on, like, a twist to kind of pick it back up and make us go like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, like, this is intense. It was intense nonetheless, but like I said, Shyamalan has just built a career on making mind-bending twists, and I just didn't get one this time, and I don't know. Like I said, I probably just ruined that part for myself. But like I said, I'm not going to bash the movie too much for that, because that's just my expectation of M. Night Shyamalan nowadays. But look, overall, like I said, he just played it safe. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. It's great action, great performances, a great premise. Personally, I'm going to need him to work. If I do have to critique one other thing, I'm going to need him to stop putting himself. I'm going to need your little cameos to stop. Didn't enjoy your little cameo in this one. I thought it was very stupid. You trying to be the Popeye's chicken man, trying to sell chicken to people. No, I don't know what you're doing up there on that screen. But other than that, it was a very good movie. M. Night Shyamalan did a very good job of trying not to push our buttons because he already knew he was pushing it with old. Like I said, personally, I feel like he just wanted to play it safe in this film because he knew old was complete crap, and I still don't know if I can forgive him for that. I don't know. This movie definitely put him back on my good side. I will say that. But you still made old. And the fact, and what pisses me off more about old is that he had a character in there that literally watched all that crap just play out, and I was just very upset at that. But nonetheless, look guys, that's my review for this film. Overall, for all those reasons and so many more, I'm going to give Knock at the Cabin a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Look, Knock at the Cabin, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. What was your thoughts on, how everything played out? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Let me know how you enjoyed the film. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.